100%. But right now, though, we're going to take it on the line with Mary Honeybee Morrison on the Midnight Hour radio show. Honeybee, what's happening?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Oh, I'm good. Kind of weird in here, but I hear your voice. I ain't got no headphones on. This the first time ever.
You don't have any head?
No, I ain't say no. Now look, don't you start early, Honeybee. Don't you start early.
Oh,
They don't know about you. I done read about you.
Oh, good. Look, good. So you ready for me?
So what you tell us? What? Now I know you like church because I done seen you in a lot of church pictures. So what brought this out in you? This part of you?
You said church pictures?
Yeah. Don't you? Ain't that a church you standing in on that one picture that I just saw recently?
Okay, if you say so, I'm gonna roll.
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm a spiritual kind of girl.
So is you spiritual or you non-spiritual? I don't know. Talk to us about.
Absolutely. I have tremendous faith. Oh, absolutely. You know.
Absolutely. So you doing your thing in Atlanta. That seemed to be the mecca of the South, the mecca of America for sexual feelings and emotions and things like that, huh?
Oh my gosh, I have had so many opportunities since I've been here. It is ridiculous. It's like girls don't even know what to do. But I love the ATL, and I moved here to do my stage play, Single Husbands, and so the casting is going super well with that. So I'm happy about that because it is an adult production. Everything I do is for adults.
Okay.
Everything.
Well, you keep me in mind for promotions. I want to throw that out there to you, Miss Honeybee.
I love you for that.
So just tell us about your latest. Now, the thing that caught my attention online recently, and I'm gonna open up the floor there. We got so many people in the studio here right now. It's like a gathering up in here. We got another stage playwriter named Ronnie Holman. He wrote a play called When the Lights Go Out. He's sitting in the studio too. But I know they want to ask you questions. I can just tell by their eyes. They just look like they. But before they ask you a question, tell me this thing about you was talking about online when you said the main woman, the side woman, the main and the side and the side and the main.
Oh, absolutely. You know, if you're in a relay, in a relationship, you're in one of those four categories. You're the main chick, side chick, main side, and side main. That's just breaking it down plain and simple. If you're the main chick, you got to have game, be up on your game, because if not, you can't get bumped, and that's okay. You just wasn't on your game. So the side chick can never upgrade herself, you know, even though sometimes she wants to. But that's a whole other story. And then the main side is the main chick who got a side dude. So that's a whole other story, because I know a lot of females like that. And then the side main is like you really on the side, but you're the main because he really don't want to be with the main, but he got some financial obligations and other stuff. He kind of tied up in a monetary sense, so he can't just break free of her, but he kind of like done with her. So the side is really the main. But, you know, at any rate, you know, women need to know what they want before they open their legs, because if you don't, you've already been screwed. And so that's my platform, is for women to know what you want and know how to get it.
See, my studio, they don't know how to take it, but see, I know about Atlanta. I know. I done been invited to all the private parties and all of that, and I know y'all even got the 45 hottest mistresses list and all of that. You know what I mean? Wow. So they don't know nothing about that. The Trilogy nightclub and all of that kind of stuff. They don't know nothing about that. They kind of square on that kind of stuff, but I love them for that.
Wow.
I love them for that.
But you got to put them up on it. That's what you do. You know,
they might throw me out the studio and kick me out of Cleveland.
This is exciting. I'm interested right now. And being coming from anyway. Hi, Honeybee. This is Shantae K. How you doing, girlfriend?
Evangelist Shantae
K. Yes, I'm very happy. I'm ordained licensed minister, but you know what? I'm married. I love my husband, and I love making love to my husband. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it. The marriage bed is not defiled when you are married. Amen. So
Amen. That's what
we need information as well, you know. So it's like,
okay.
Okay. So if anybody sit up and say, "Oh, I'm Christian and I don't like sex," they lying unless something's wrong with them. So
right.
Anyway, my question is, and I have a lot of girlfriends in the church that talk about this, is that when they get married and they're married to a leader in the church, say the pastor or the head deacon or whatever, a lot of times that gentleman, that husband, kind of shies away from sex because they looking at like, well, they're a godly man, or now this is their wife is a godly wife. But when they were dating, they was all over the place, kicking it in the car, driving down the freeway, but once they get married, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It kind of like, so what kind of suggestions would you have for people in the church that want to keep the fire going in their marriage?
Well, the first thing I'm going to say is you made some good points. So I'm going to say never let it go, because in the first place, that's why you're together, you're having great sex, just to keep it going. Because once the guy get married, the deacon, the minister, whatever, then that doesn't mean that they're not really still having sex. They might just not be having as much sex with the person that they married.
Right.
Because I've been hit on by pastors and deacons and a whole lot of folks that try to act like they walk in a straight line and they out there doing everything except. So, we can't put too much on the title itself. So people throw away the title and look at your husband as your husband and your wife as your wife. And just never let it get old. It's like you got to stay up on game. Like when I was talking about, the main chick has got to get dressed up, get super cute, and go, baby, I'm going to the store to get some milk. Now, make sure you come back with the milk. Especially that you fornicate and mess around. My thing is to always keep your guy guessing about what you're doing, where you're going, and don't get comfortable. Don't let the hair go. And you always got to do your lips and lashes, and something that pink lipstick. People might talk about red lipstick, honey, but that pink lipstick always give me some drinks, and my food tab picked up when I put on pink. Other pink, and guys kind of equate the two, and so they totally be distracted. But that's a whole other thing. People in the church got to keep it fresh. It's two different things. It's like your relationship, your marriage is one thing, and their religion is another thing. But a lot of times we put religion in a category where I can't do this because I'm saved. That's not true. You can do that because you want to continue to be saved.
That's right. That's right. I agree. I totally agree. I have a couple of girlfriends that's listening. That's why I asked, and they always tell me, God, you're just so free with this, and you and your husband are just always kissing and romantic. And, I said, well, we went through our things. Once he got ordained, it was like, and then once I got ordained, it was like, and then we started going to two spiritual counselors. We had them here on the show. They was representing their companies called Heed, and they do this, like keeping that passion going, because God doesn't want us fornicating. He doesn't want us committing adultery. He wants you to be faithful, and he knows we're flesh, and so we have bubble bath night, we have our popcorn night. I just wanted to speak to the Christian people out there that keep it fresh, keep it going on. So I like to hear you say that.
Honeybee, tell us what motivates you.
All right.
Oh, my God.
Because you got a lot of sides to you. See, I could see that in you.
I'm a little bit crazy over here. So anyway, I keep it fresh because I have like a treasure chest, a toy chest at the foot of my bed. I have lots of sex toys. I'm probably going to die with sex toys that's still unopened, because I just buy the day I see the just in case-ish that I call it, that I have on hand. So for me, it's like I'm always prepared. When I travel, I have toys in my suitcase that are new because I don't know who I'm going to run into. So back to the fornication thing, I feel like in this day and time, this is not the 60s or 70s or the 80s. We're in like 2014. So things are a little bit different, and while a lot of people would like to be married, there's a lot of single people out there. So like I tell my son, if I'm going to hell for fornication, you might as well sign me up now, because I don't plan on getting married again, because men don't know what they really want. Like, marriage is overrated and it's undervalued because there's a lot of miserably married people, and I'm not doing it for the piece of paper, and I don't think the piece of paper is going to save me and keep me out of heaven. That's just my personal belief. Now, whether or not that's true or not, I have no idea. So I like to keep it fresh. I like toys. I like experience. Like I got some popsicles, ice cream. What else I went out and bought? I got the vibrating ice cube in the freezer. I got stuff in my freezer that's like just ready and waiting for somebody to walk through the door.
No, I understand what you're saying. What you're saying in essence is that a lot of people not going to get married. They just going to have fun, have free sex and free will for the rest of their life. And it's a new era, and some people got to learn to accept it. Me, on my level, I'm a Christian, so I want to be married and all of that stuff. But I understand what you're saying. We're in a different world and in a different time right now.
Right, and I think that you do have to pick and choose consciously what you do, and you have to do what you do for you. I'm very clear on why I do what I do and when I do it. So I believe that God loves me just as much as he loves the next person, because like I said, we have a lot of people in the church who are not doing the right thing, who don't live by the Bible, who really walk a different walk from what they're saying and what they should be doing. And we do have people who are Christians who are faithful in the Word and what they do, and they're committed to it. So the world is just made up of all different kinds, but I believe if Christians are Christians, they don't judge people who are not or who are different. Let me put it that way. So in a sexual sense, I believe that it's supposed to be pleasurable. I think if you're in a relationship, if you are married, I think that you should be able to do whatever you want with your husband, with your wife, regardless of your religious status, that you want to do that's pleasing to both of you. Because that's why you got married in the first place, because you love each other, right?
That's right.
Right. I'm going to let some of the play guests, we got about 5 minutes left, ask you a few questions.
Okay.
I'm going to let them introduce themselves. You got to come closer to the microphone there.
This is Eileen, and I play Angel and when the lights go out. So, hi. Nice to meet you. But, yeah, I was just going to ask you, so, you know, when you want to keep it all fresh, are you particular about who your partners are? Do you believe in one-night stands type of things? I mean, do you go to – they have these different groups, and they meet through social media, and they're secret groups. So do you believe in those type of things? You know, where are your limits?
Well, this is the thing. I feel like as an adult, as a grown person, I feel like people should do whatever it is that they're comfortable with. I'm comfortable in whatever I do, and I'm confident in whatever I do. There was a time when I did go to the sex clubs that I did this, that, and the third, and I'm always selective, so I'm never going to take my clothes off for somebody who I don't believe is going to be great, and I mean great in bed. If I think the sex is going to be mediocre, then you are not the person for me. I'm just very clear on that. But as an adult, and especially as a woman, I don't believe in judgment. I believe that women should dismiss all the judgment, all the stigma, and all of that stuff that people might try to place on you because you have exercised your own judgment. I don't think that women should abide by that. I also don't feel like women should open their legs until they know what they want. If you don't know what you want, then there's no sense in letting the guy talk you into doing something that you're not really comfortable with. So when you choose to do that, whether it's the club, whether it's being selective, I am very selective because as sexual as I am, you would never hear my name in a circle. And I pride myself on that because my son grew up in basketball, so there were a lot of basketball dads, coaches, everything, this, that, and the third. But he never heard my name in the circle because I wasn't traveling in that circle.
Keep it real. They didn't want to mess it up, did they? I'm just trying to make you laugh. See, I know. I know the secrets.
Hey, Honey Bee. This is Ronnie Holman, the play right here from Cleveland. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, Ronnie?
I'm doing good. I know you down there in Atlanta. One of my bros down there in Atlanta, he's an author too. Candace Simmons, you may know him. But I'm going to change the gears here a little bit. I just got a question for you. What are some suggestions you can give an up-and-coming playwright, you know, just starting off to do productions, stage productions, and possibly some movies? What kind of advice can you give us?